Good morning from Yami. Good afternoon from Yami BTV. Wishing you all well and hoping the first day of the week is going the best it possibly can. Now, fair to say, true to say as well, rumours filtering through that Big Brian Cockrell will be doing a live with me any day now, right? So I'm back out and about by Wednesday to get some more interviews on the board, but it should be a bit of a giggle. Big Brian Cockrell coming in. Emma's just messaged me just now. So you, Hemi, will be able to ask all those things that you've been asking me. Mind you, you probably asked him already now. As well as that serious note now, and a question being asked of me is the leaving prison behind and embarking on a new life and change and a life without crime, so to speak. And you come out and you go on these shows and you tell your life story with the intention, with most people that come out and do their life stories, they haven't got no intention of going back to prison, right? Some of us embark on YouTube channels, some put themselves out there on other social media apps as well. So why is it that a few, since I've been out, have fallen flat after doing so well, really, in reality, with the stuff they're saying about that life, trying to make amends, etc., etc. But for one reason or another, they ended up back in custody. Now, I had to let you know that Sarah Jane Baker is in HMP Parkhurst. So she's back to where she first started all them years ago. So she's doing a rerun, unfortunately. And, it probably will be demoralising for her to have turned the corner in one way of her life and made significant changes, that she fell down basically on a protest of some kind. But the good news, I suppose, coming through is that the charge that she got she was found innocent of. The magistrate threw it out. So there's nothing really to hold her on the recall apart from there being a backlog of things. They're behind on their parole hearings, sorry. And hers is not going to take place till sometime next year. So she's back on those wings. And Parkhurst, remember, is not the same as it once was. Different clientele there altogether. But it's definitely not going to be easy for Sarah Jane Baker. So there's one person. And then there's another few, Sam Walker, Brett May, a couple of others as well. And Dean Lynch as well. They've ended up back in prison, right? I see, with them amongst others as well, I see that not so much crimes that they used to do, I don't think, unless you will tell me more anyway. But what I mean is their lives are not entrenched in criminal lifestyles. For a lot of those that have gone back, it's more a case of behaviours on certain given days, in risky places and areas where they don't have no intention of setting out to commit a crime, but find themselves embroiled or wrapped up in something that happens whilst they're out as well, whether it be a fight, whether it be an argument, whether it's, something out of the ordinary, not pre-planned, right? So they end up back in prison that way. So for me, when I look back now, there's been some risky, because I'm not involved in any crime whatsoever, right? But in reality, you're at risk when you go certain places where there's red flags or possible outcomes and scenarios. So I have been in some risky positions since I've been out. And I'm not taking them too lightly no more, because it only takes one moment, as I've seen from these other guys. Not so much the people that, the ones that have been recalled. Sam Walker's last recall was an absolute joke, mate. And I know what it's like to be on licence and get recalled for absolute nothing and nonsense. And this is all the time they're letting other people out with higher risk and all that. We've been into all that before. But the recall system, when you're on, that's why you've got to be. I can't understand how certain men who are on licence still would be going up on certain platforms and, getting embroiled in arguments and that, because I'm hearing that you can get recalled for any threats online and that kind of stuff, which is another strange one, yeah? But the reality is, not getting off the subjects here, is that it's ultimately behaviours. So just because I left, I don't do the things I used to do by way of crime. but it doesn't mean that I can't fall into one unintentionally. It could be on a train or on a bus, and this is why it's so important to keep yourself grounded and keep yourself in check always. You know, I mean, not saying you can't have a good time, but the areas where you've had little warnings for in the past, like bars and pubs and stuff like that, and being out in big, large groups where everybody's alcohol fueled and that kind of stuff, begin to see that it is quite a bit red flaggy to options open to stuff that you can get involved in, I'm afraid. So I think I've had the rub of the green in certain moments out here when I look on 3, 4, 5 situations that could have gone badly wrong for me, with my state of mind and my reaction to things and lack of self-control, which is now pleasing for me to be able to sit here and tell you that, but not so for those other lot. There will be nothing worse than going back to prison, going through reception, going over all that old ground again. Especially, they will be telling themselves in it, why didn't I just button it up? Why didn't I just take more care of it? I was doing well, I got a platform. My life's quite different to how it used to be. The significance of knowing when you're into a good thing, of knowing that it's going quite well for you and you don't really want nothing to hinder your growing. And, you know, when no one's perfect. You know, I mean, I feel a bit sorry for Dean Lynch Ward. I think he's a very, very nice man, Dean, as well. So I'm a bit gutted for him there. And people are still going to want to hang on to social media while they're in there as well. They're going to want to have their say and come, but you're going to make yourself even feel worse by getting involved online, and you're talking from prison. All your haters are going to come, and it's going to drive you absolutely insane in there as well, I'm afraid. So yeah, there'll be many regrets. And you know, when I was thinking about it the other day of actually walking in and putting your head in there and imagining, my days, things have changed for me. I don't want to feel that feeling. It's very, very serious stuff. You know, once the gate shuts and you're in there, you are completely cut off from the outside world. It's here we go again. But the only difference is we're not the same people that we once was. I know it's frightening, and you've got to lie there with all that control that you had over your new life, and everything is put on hold once again. But it doesn't mean it's the end for you. So just keep on persevering. For those that have fallen, albeit unluckily, but most importantly, what would you have learned next time around with these situations that can come at any given moment on the outside? So I'll be back up in a minute, right? Just going to go for lunch, and I'll get back to you all.